So last week we discussed part 1 of exactly what to do 30 days out from your pageant, and I got pretty deep per usual. So today we're going to get extremely practical, and we're going to hit the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of really repeatable, actionable things that you guys can do that will immediately get you more points in the actual physical competition. So I'm Coach Megan. If you're new here, I'm the CEO and founder of Powerhouse Pageantry and the Powerhouse Podcast, 2-time former Miss Nebraska, and I love helping people win in pageants and in life. And today's episode is sponsored by the Powerhouse Club. So you guys can go to thepowerhouseclub.com and join the best community in pageantry, where we have everything from mock interviews to special behind the scenes teachings with myself and access to a whole lot of other goodies and the best community, like I said, in pageantry. So let's get into it with this episode today. The very first thing that I want to talk about today is really like to expand on what we talked about in regards to focus. So I have a focus checklist for you guys today, and these are the things that actually really move the needle when it comes to your score. So again, I think 30 days out that you should lock in on kind of thinking of your prep in 2 directions. So 1, you want to continue to maintain, if not increase, your specialties. So let's just say like your talent is your best area of competition. Well, don't just like stop, practicing your talent. I'm not saying that. You should absolutely maintain those things, still continue to find small adjustments of what you can do. But I think everybody has 1 or 2 areas of competition that they feel really good about. And I don't want you to burn out in those areas. I see it from way too many people every single year where, like dancers specifically, they're like, if I hear my dance song one more time, I'm going to lose it, right? So we don't want to get to that place, because then you have to go almost to like an inauthentic place to be faking that you still have a passion for something, and that's really not a great place to be. And then you want to analyze the other side of things, which is kind of your bottom areas of competition that need the most work. Now, hopefully you've worked earlier than this on these categories. Hopefully you've worked with us. We've been able to help you in a lot of these categories since we can help in every area of competition. But if you haven't, then I would definitely reverse engineer. Okay, let's say that it's interview, let's say that it's onstage question, and let's say that it is your platform. Okay, so a lot of work to be done, not impossible. Then what you want to do is you want to write exactly and really use your creative imagination. Like, what would it feel like? What would I talk like? What would I walk like? Like, what would this look like for a 10 out of 10, a perfect score in every area of these bottom categories? And then I want you to write out in detail, get a blank piece of paper, your creative vision for exactly what this is going to look like. Hold nothing back, okay? And I want you to start meditating on that every single day, because again, what you focus on expands, what you focus on, you become. And so you can actually implant a lot of these thoughts and turn them into behaviors, because all of your behavior comes from your state, right? So the more that we think about exactly the way that we want these different things to go, of course, you still have to practice, you still have to do the doing, but mental gymnastics is also a really important way that you should work out every day. It's super important. Okay, so make sure that we are incredibly focused with the reps that we are getting. I also say reverse engineer your timeline. That's why we created a pageant planner. It's a 90-day planner that you can help do all of your pageant planning, fit everything into your life, as well as spiritual, mental, and emotional check-ins every single week. And our clients fill that out absolutely religiously. So you guys can go to the link in the show notes to make sure that you grab one of those. You'll get a physical copy in the mail within typically a week to 10 days. And they're amazing, if I do say so myself. Okay. So at 30 days out, really the goal can't be to learn new things, but it needs to be to refine what you've already built. Again, if you're like in SOS panic mode, feel free to still set up a call with us. We'd love to help you. Might be able to create something custom for you. No promises, but every once in a while when we have somebody that really wants to win and is willing to put in the effort, time, energy, money, all of that, then sometimes we can make something happen. I don't know, just depends how full our roster is. Okay, so the second thing is the daily crown check. So I love like a check-in and check-out process. I even do this with my life coaching clients, with my business clients, with even myself. My husband and I do this. So as you're checking in the morning, I want you to put on, I hate to say like persona because it needs to be authentic, but I want you to practice as if you already are the winner that you want to be. So like we talked about in the episode last time, like how can I show up as a leader today? How can I communicate well today? How can I take care of my body today? How can I practice operating in the skill set that I need to operate in to win this pageant? And not just during like my hour, it's pageant prep time. And so I create this like fake environment where now I go and I just practice questions with myself. It is going to be so much more embedded into the hardwiring and software of who you are if you actually find ways to take the characteristics that you want to embody and you integrate them and you become them in your everyday life. And that's how we should practice, is in real world scenarios. Again, coaching totally works, all that. I think all of you guys should work with coaches, but even the way that we do coaching is very immersive for that reason, where we want to create the real thing. And the best way to practice that is in your real life. So that could be having the confidence to ask for your order to be changed when the restaurant got it wrong. It's all these scenarios where you want to come up against uncomfortability, but you choose to have courage. You choose to act with bravery. You choose to over communicate. You choose to show up, but you have to be there at 10, you show up at 9:45. Like, you're practicing these elements of a title holder so that when you go and you have to stand up for yourself and you have to back yourself in interview and in the actual pageant, you've already been practicing backing yourself in everyday life rather than very frequently not backing yourself, caving, blaming it on being an introvert or not using your voice, not taking action. And then you're trying to get yourself to become that or do those things during pageant week when you're also in fight or flight. You're feeling the competition, you're comparing yourself, you are around a lot of personalities, a lot of egos, a lot of just close proximity to people that might even be a stranger that you're rooming with. Like, that's just not possible. It's too much, okay? You're not going to be able to adapt, and you shouldn't. I mean, that's not normal, okay? That's like not a normal thing. That would be like you just met your coworker and now you have to stay in a room with them for a week and you can never get away from them, and they have the exact opposite values and personality of you, and you have to like act like a normal person, right? Like that's you, okay? So in the morning, I want you to like put on, like the Bible even says, awake, awake, and put on strength. So, and his mercies are new every morning. So as you wake up, like really sit and meditate on who do you want to be. That's why we have a morning mastery framework. It's a thorough document of exactly who you want to be and what you want your life to look like in 6 months. And I have my clients read over it every single day, if not multiple times a day. And then I have them do that with their super stories. I have them do that with their talking points, and not in a way where the goal is memorization. The goal is actually immersion. The goal is taking these parts of things and integrating it into the very core of who you are and changing the way that you think until you become it, okay? So check in and do that. And then at the end of the day, I think it's really important to ask yourself, how did I do? How are my emotions today? How is my communication today? How is my leadership today? How did I keep my word to myself today? Simple things like that. How was my prayer life today? How did I treat my body today? And again, we look at those things from a neutral mindset. We don't look at that with critical condemnation, but we want to be making advancements, especially during crunch time when we're 30 minutes out, okay? Last thing, so any final deadlines that you might have, this is very practical, paperwork, talent, things like that. Make sure that you give everything a final last look over, and that you are practicing with the most recent version of your paperwork. You're practicing with the most recent turned in cut of your talent, and just making sure that you know your paperwork backwards and forwards, you know your platform backwards and forwards. There should be nothing that you've put on your paperwork that the judges cannot ask you about that you can't hit a home run with. If you can't hit a home run, why is it on your paperwork? If you don't want to talk about it, why is it on your paperwork? So if you can't make changes because you already turned it in, now's the time to work on those things and find valuable stories, find valuable things that you can talk about because it's on there. So we can change it next year, okay? Health and energy optimization is the next one. So stop skipping meals, stop overtraining. Great. I think some things can be done in 4 weeks, certainly, like absolutely, probably 5 pounds or so healthily, but it's really, really important not to go into extremes. But some things that are really, really great: sleep, hydration, walks, deep breathing, daily stretching, baths, Those things are incredibly important. Epsom salt baths, drawing those impurities out of your body, massages, cold plunges, those things are fantastic to make sure that you're regulating your stress. So when I was competing for Miss USA, one of the best things my trainer ever told me was he's like, I need you to take a daily hot bath at the end of the day. This was during COVID. And he could just tell that I was so stressed because it was COVID and I couldn't even go to the gym, and I was just daily replaying like how I'm going to fail in swimsuit at Miss USA because my only companion is the fridge and it's like 5 feet away from me in my apartment and I can't even leave and I can't go to nothing was open, right? It was just terrible. And it was also cold, so I couldn't even walk outside or like do whatever. Anyways, those were the excuses that I made too. I just was, even 5 years, right? 5 years ago, I was in a different mental place than I am now. And I remember he was like, I just think that you're so stressed. Your body is like, it's like holding on to everything and it like doesn't even want to lose weight. Granted, I think I had some hormonal issues going on there too, and trauma and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, he was like, I need you to take a warm bath every day. And that's really going to help. Like do some deep breathing, prayer, like light some candles, read a book, like let your cortisol come down at the end of the day. Like don't be staring at your phone till 1 a.m. and then wondering why you don't have the energy to go to the gym in the morning. Like control the controllables in this last month and you will thank yourself. I also think really managing like who is in your ear during the last 30 days is really important, because all it takes is sometimes one negative person, one negative thing to like really get you spiraling and off base. And that could waste like 24, 48 hours for you to get over it. This even happened to me last week where somebody said something to me that like sent my nervous system into a panic. And it took me like 36 hours to really like coach myself through it, even because it was devastating to me. Like it was really, really uncomfortable and it was shocking and all these things where it came out of nowhere and I like didn't know how to handle it because it was so shocking. And so I had to take my own medicine. I had to practice what I preach when it came to that. But I would really like those 24, 36 hours of my life back, because it ruined my Sunday and made me get kind of a late start on a Monday. And I was like, I don't have time for this. This situation is not worth my brain space. And we had some transitions in our company the exact same time. So I had to make those decisions. And I had just started another company the day before that. It was a crazy week, right? And so this is why I talk so much about mental health optimization, spiritual health optimization, as well as physical health optimization, because it's not when everything going well that you really think about this. It's when everything like crap literally hits the fan that this becomes really, really, really extra important. And so I always want to teach you guys the real thing when it comes to that. Okay, so last thing I want to talk about today, look through your lookbook, A to Z. Are any outfits missing? Is any jewelry missing? Any accessories? Shoes? Do I know my hair and makeup look like the back of my hand? Do I have a plan for my spray tan? Do I have a plan for, the butt glue that I need and the this that I need, all the little accessories, all the things? Can you put them together like Granimals in your dress bag? Can you Sharpie write on everything? Can you have a 1-pager that tells you every single thing that you need for every single outfit that you can tape to the mirror? Can you stupid proof competition? So important. So important. Do you need backups for things? Okay. For me, I need visual, like stuff written down everywhere, or else I will 10 times out of 10 forget my earrings, because I don't even wear earrings every day. Like I'm just not a jewelry gal. So I had to have absolutely everything written out. I had it on note cards. I had it tucked into my dress bag because I didn't want to forget anything. Okay. Rehearsals, day wear, check-in, extra eyelashes, extra lip pencils, extra lip glosses, all those kinds of things, extra pair of heels. And then try everything on, film yourself in every single outfit, make sure it all fits, it all feels like you, it all looks amazing. And for the love of what, please practice your hair and makeup. Please practice your hair and makeup. Please do not wait for anything to wing it the day of. Don't wing your interview. Don't wing your eyeliner. Don't wing what shoes I'm going to wear. Do not don't go into something being like, oh, I like both of these shoes. I'm just going to decide the day of. No, don't do that. Okay. You're going to be stressed out. And the last thing that you need is decision fatigue, inhibiting your ability to perform. I promise you don't want that. Last thing, real last thing. I said videotape yourself. That's super important. But even practicing things like eye contact, hand gestures, micro expressions, your pauses, your tonality, your pace, your speed, all the emotions that you want to carry in your interview, all those kinds of things are super important. I think social media starts to become important in these last 30 days as well. Don't worry about it really before that. I mean, you should, but like, again, if it's a Hail Mary, the judges aren't looking at your stuff more than 30 days before. I always say like at 30 days, maybe they are if the judges have been selected and all that by them. So I think that could be a good idea. So being mindful of your personal brand, being mindful, like, does this make sense if the judges were to scroll? You know, of course, am I proud of everything that's there? Is this authentic? Does it look like the same girl? Does it look like 7 different girls? And then we're really just like turning the dials and just meticulously making things better step by step for each of these things, right? And so in conclusion, this is why we created the Powerhouse Club. This is why we created the Pageant Academy. I wanted to create the best resource, the best membership community where you could ask all these nitty-gritty questions, anything that you have, anything that you need answered, so that you could have pageant pros like myself, like my coaches, be able to lift you up to that next level and help you break through whatever those plateaus are that you're in right now. So we love giving the proper resources through our courses, as well as our Q&As, our mock interviews, and really creating the absolute best place in pageantry to take you from wherever you are today to wherever you want to be in the most cost-effective way humanly possible. So make sure that you go to thepowerhouseclub.com to sign up. It will not be at this price forever. We're going to be changing things starting in the 2026 season, which I'm excited to announce in just a few weeks. And with that, I wish everybody the best of luck that's competing, or break a leg, I suppose, competing in the next 30 days. I know we have dozens and dozens of pageants coming up, and it's a really exciting time. And as always, feel free to reach out to us at Powerhouse Pageantry on Instagram if you guys have any more questions or topics that you guys want me to cover. Okay, I'll see you guys next week.